And welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It's been a little bit of a while here, and okay, in the last mission we had the Discovery actually arrive at Duna and achieve orbit, and here it is there. And now we have Lander 1, which is now 7 days out from Duna, followed by Lander 2, and then by the Mayflower, and then finally by the Kethane miner. And so now, I'll go ahead and set Duna as target. It'd be nice if that would persist across saves, but I don't suppose that would be reasonable. And let's see, 7 days out, let's see if we can get any kind of a view of the encounter. I know that's really difficult sometimes. Well, it's hard to tell for sure, but it looks like we're coming in somewhat polar, but I can't tell for certain. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and fly in until we're about 2 or 3 days out and see what it looks like from there. Perhaps then we get a closer look. So we'll start advancing time and get in there. Okay, that's 3 days and 5 hours out. See if we can get a better view now. Not quite polar, but it's going to be very inclined at the very least. Right, let's close in a little bit more. Okay, a little over a day and a half out. All right. Looks like we might be able to turn this into a reasonably equatorial orbit. Try popping a maneuver node here. See what I can do. Maybe if I just zero out that prograde motion and go strictly with plane change. Doesn't look so great. Alright. Let's just go ahead and move this over here to periapsis and see what we get here. Alright, you know what? Get rid of that node and move into the sphere of influence change. Get into Duna SOI and we'll probably be able to have a better idea of what we're actually doing here. Wouldn't that be a concept? close. All right. Maneuver at periapsis. Whoops, not so much. An Ike encounter. Well, I think we'll leave Ike to the smaller landers for right now. Bring that periapsis down some more. And some more. No. An encounter with Ike is just going to send us out of the Duna system, and we don't want that. Alright. So that'll do for that, and we'll just have another maneuver there to bring the orbit down somewhere close low. And can I do some plane change while I'm at this? It doesn't look like it. Alright. No, that's the wrong direction. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and zero this out. We'll take that the way it is. Burn that one. Get down to Duna periapsis and work from there. Alright. Get into position. Alright, there's our maneuver node right on the retrograde marker, which makes absolute sense. Okay, we're almost lined up. Okay, lock it down. RCS off. And let's warp into burn time. Wait a minute. Quick nudge on the engines. 13-minute burn? You're kidding me, right? Okay, well, we'll find out. We'll go ahead and warp into burn time. 13-minute, 48-second burn. I guess we'll be burning at about T-minus 7 or 6 3/4, say 6 minutes for 45 seconds. Oh, I've done it, didn't I? I went sailing right past the maneuver node. Well, there's nothing to do now but fire the engines and hope we can make up for the difference. And that there's enough fuel for this whole operation. That is an issue. Right now, all things considered, I'm going to be satisfied with any orbit. I do note that the burn time is considerably less than 13 minutes that it estimated before, so let's see if we can actually do this. Biggest concern is the amount of fuel. We're going to be tapping the FLT 400s real soon. On the positive side, as we burn fuel, there's less mass on the ship to deal with. And of course, the lander also has fuel we can tap if we need to. It just means that the lander won't be able to land until the Kethane miner arrives and starts doing its thing. There's an awful lot riding on that Kethane miner. In any event, we have nearly 5 minutes of burn remaining, so I'm going to cut out and come back in when the burn is done. Alright, the burn is getting close to done. However, this is only just now beginning to turn into something resembling an arc, but not even close to an orbit yet. And the fuel is almost gone. Adjusting a little bit to stay on the mark, which isn't going to matter because we're almost out of juice. Out of juice. Throttle off. What have we done? We've got a beginning of an orbit situation here, so let's move some fuel. It looks like the lander is going to have to wait until the miner arrives, but that's all right. Oh, I shouldn't have focused away from that. Go ahead and transfer that over. I wish there was a way to say transfer X% and have it transfer the liquid fuel and the oxidizer evenly. Because honestly, probably 10% or 20% would have been enough. In the meantime, fire the engines back up. Finish curving this into an orbit. Throttle back now and just watch the periapsis. We're looking for 900 kilometers. Okay, 7,000. $5,000. Just under 3,000 now. There's that Ike encounter. Ike periapsis. No, we don't want that. We keep going. Duna periapsis down to 800. 700, 600. I'll leave it there. Okay, we get rid of this node that we managed to fly right past. Set up another maneuver in here at periapsis. Some good old-fashioned braking. .761 by 637. Well, judging it from this far out, that's actually pretty good, so let's just go with that. And so that I don't overshoot the burn again, I'm going to go ahead and do what I should have done the first time. I've added Kerbal alarm clock to the mods I'm using, so we'll have it kill time warp, and let's give it a 2-minute margin for the maneuver. Add the alarm. And now we won't miss the node. And now I will just time warp on ahead. Go ahead and close the display. There's Duna. Okay, restore maneuver node, close the alarm. Alright, I like that. The fact that it restores the maneuver node. Although it needs adjusting because it's intersecting the planet's surface, and we don't want that. You out of the way. This will reduce the amount of delta V we need to burn. 139. 150. That looks good to me. All right. Now, just rotate around and locate that node, which should be over close to retrograde. Here we are. And there it is. Okay, 36-second burn. We'll go ahead and burn just about. Hold it. RCS off. Control from there. And now try it. This thing is got the node from that point of view, and that's totally wrong. I'm going to flip it around and point it prograde according to the nav ball, and we'll burn it that way. Just about in position. Estimated burn time is going down now. No, doggone it, it's going up. I don't believe this. You mean to tell me this thing was right the whole time? It didn't look like it before. It really didn't. This is me being a complete futz. We're a minute and a half past the node now. I don't know what it is with me and passing nodes. I even had an alarm set for this one. Alright, apocalypse is coming down like it's supposed to. We're late on the burn, but it's coming down. At this point, we're just going to eyeball it. Aim for 150 and hope we get it. Right. Bring the throttle down. Get the periapsis down to 150 and kill the engine. Okay. Alright, get rid of maneuver nodes. Put another one here. Bring this down to 150 and call that good enough. $152 by 148. I'll go with that. Oh boy, I'd left the monoprop, the thrusters on all this time, and we're almost out of monopropellant now. The only monoprop left is on the lander. Oh boy, total mismanagement. Total, complete, absolute mismanagement. Pilot error city. And I can't just go back and do a do-over because I neglected to make a backup copy of the save file before starting this. And yes, I've been known to do that occasionally when things go totally and completely nutso. See if we can do the rest of this without using the thrusters. I have a great idea for a mod, a reminder thing, sort of a checklist mod, where you could put things on the checklist that it would remind you of, such as always turn RCS off before engaging time warp, or taking your attention off of it for a little while. Okay, and now let's warp ahead to burn time. Paying attention to how close we are so as to not overshoot. And we burn. The fact that we're using so much of the lander's fuel is really not that big of a problem, because it's not going to be landing until the Kethane miner gets here and locates a good place to land. This. Okay. We have a 153 by 142 somewhat inclined orbit, but that's all right. All right. Now that that ship has arrived, let us check out the tracking station. Switch over to Lander 2. Let's see if we can get Lander 2 to Duna without having some kind of a major error fest. Lander 2 has a similar situation. It is on a very similar course. It was launched a little bit later. And it is 19 days from Duna encounter. No. Duna encounter in 20 days. Okay. Let's go ahead and warp time ahead and get close. Occurs to me we're out of plane alignment just a little bit here. We could maybe do a burn to correct that. No, I'm not going to mess with it. Let's just get into the encounter. What do you mean, no target? Okay, it doesn't want us to have a target, so we're just going to do a retro burn at periapsis. 700 kilometers. Wow. And that was just getting a little careless with the Delta V, with the handles there. 1003 Delta V, not bad. We might even have that much. Okay. Oh, let's make sure to go control from here. let's make a little more sensible use of our monopropellant. Such as remembering to turn it off. Almost lined up. Lock that in. Fine tune it. Lock that. All right. RCS off. And let's go ahead and get into node. Still 7 hours away. We're right at the node because I darn near overshot again. I don't know what's with it. I don't usually normally do that kind of thing. Okay, we're looking at another 5-minute burn. And I can see where it can easily be that. So, I'll be back when the burn is done. Alright, here we are a good halfway through the burn and just about out of fuel here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the burn briefly. And I'm going to transfer fuel from the lander like I did the last time. Only this time I'm going to transfer the fuel from this tank and from this tank into here. And see if maybe that is enough to go ahead and complete the burn without having to drain the lander's main tank, which was kind of overkill on lander 1, so see if we can't do a better job with lander 2. Still got a ways to go on the burn. We've managed to push escape out to 15 hours, but we still need that thing to curve around. We still have a good 2 minutes of burn time left, so I'll just speed the video up from here. I'm going for a little bit lower periapsis than what the original maneuver called for. See if we can get it down a little bit lower. I'm going to aim for 150. Good, right there. So go ahead and delete our maneuver node and head into periapsis. And yes, my RCS is turned off. approaching in here, getting a little closer. Go ahead and plan a quick periapsis burn now that we're close enough to see it better. And do something approximating an orbit circularization. $159 by $150. I'll take it. Okay. Oh, I'm still in time warp. No wonder I can't turn that off or do anything. Alright, where's the planet? There we are. Alright. There's our node. Line up. Lock that down. RCS off and time warp down. Burn in about 45 seconds. If I can actually remember to stop it in time.